What's up, guys? Today I'm going to break down how I actually chart SPX every time. So basically, what I do is I start in the 12-month time frame. I start from the highest time frame down, as I learned from my mentor online. His name is Cotton Candy TA. But basically, the effective time, you have to go down in time. You can never work up in time. Like, you can't go to the 5 minute and then mark a level and say, oh, wait, let's go to the 15 now. Like, what you have to do is go on the highest time frame. Uh, so from here in the highest time frame, I basically mark out any levels or trends. There is a reverse trend that I can mark out, but it's pretty much pointless right now because we already hit the top and we are now coming down. But yeah, starting on 12-month, I mark out my levels, 12-month hold level here, as you can see, and then I go to the 1 month and I look for levels within levels. So, for example, this 12-month hold level has hold levels inside of it that can deep dive, meaning the wick of a candle can deep dive down to that hold level until it actually bounces up off of that. If that makes sense. But basically, for example, there's a monthly hold level right here that is inside of this 12-month, meaning that, again, as I said, the wick of a candle can come down all the way down and test this level, which is basically testing the 12-month, but it's deep diving to the deeper levels within that initial hold level, and then from there, once it actually tests that deep dive, it then bounces off of that. But yeah, I'm not marking that since we're very far away from possibly ever hitting that. But yeah, I go down in time, start from the highest time frame down, work down in time, I mark my hold levels. There is no hold level here. There is a possible uptrend here from here to there, which then basically arrays out to here, and then if we go to the weekly, that can array down to here, which is something I already have marked out. But now we're on the weekly time frame. From there, I mark out this is the legacy trend, global trend, and then this weekly trend is the local trend, because a local trend is usually the trend that is most local to the current move that we're in. So this current move that we're in is the most, recent move that we're currently sitting at. Just yesterday, this candle closed on the weekly time frame, and we hit a weekly hold level right here. And now that we hit that weekly hold level, you can see that we wicked down all the way down to a daily hold level, which is something which I had marked out prior to this week ending. But basically, I have a hold level here. You can see that it bounced off of that hold level, and now we're in a state of accumulation, meaning that we're going to come up in price until we hit this weekly inverse level. And once we hit that weekly inverse level, we're also being supported by this uptrend. So you can see that we have a sort of like a wedge. And then here, we're going to form some sort of downtrend once we actually hit that weekly inverse. And then that downtrend is going to compress us down and possibly break trend, meaning once we break trend, we're most likely going to come all the way down to some sort of hold level on a smaller time frame. But yeah, I don't want to. I gotta remember this video is about how I chart and not like an analysis. But yeah, basically, as I said, I start from the highest time frame down. I mark out my levels and trends, and I basically just spend a lot of time analyzing everything on the daily, the 1 hour, the 15, and I break it down. And what I also do is I try to keep in mind of what's happening on the bigger picture. So on the bigger picture, we can see that we are in a state of rejection. We're in a state of heavy rejection at the moment. As long as this candle on the 1 month time frame closes as a blue candle, meaning a distribution candle, as long as that happens, I can see us coming down all the way to even the 400 area in terms of price, which is quite a drop. But overall, like on the monthly time frame, we are in a state of rejection, and once we hit that inverse level in the weekly time frame, we will reject off of that. So we're gonna have a temporary period where we are in a bull market with SPX, and then, as I said, once it hits that level, then we could possibly see ourselves breaking trend and then like significantly dropping down from there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that I'll have to explain. There's many more concepts that go into this. It's not just marking levels and marking trends. Like, that is the immediate information, but there are complex like concepts that took me quite some time to understand, and it took me hours of studying. I've studied technical analysis, like the science behind it, which is originally taught by Cotton Candy TA. I studied that stuff for 8 hours a day. Since high school, I first found him, and I knew that his science was different. Like, he actually broke things down to the core essence and the core science behind how the markets work. And I'm just going to say it now, indicators are not needed. You do not need indicators whatsoever. I personally don't believe in it. I believe in true science and true analyzation, meaning you break things down to their core principles, and you analyze for patterns and data so you can then predict what happened in the future. But indicators, I personally believe you don't need them. I've tried them in high school. They didn't really do me any good, and plus I didn't even really like to use them. I don't like having clutter on my chart in my life in general. I'm a very organized person. So this is all science, really. There's many more concepts and stuff. It's not just immediate information like trends and downtrends and levels and stuff like that. Like, for example, there's cycles. So like, if we're in a downtrend, we're going to hit some sort of full level, and then we're going to cycle through, back attack some sort of valley, and from there, come down, back attack again. Maybe if we fail to back attack, then we're going down. There's many more concepts that go into this. But if you want to learn how I actually do this myself, and you want to trade at a professional level, because that is what I'm trying. That is my goal, to day trade at a professional level without having to use any indicators or any sort of like news, or have to do any of that, any external noise. Like, I just want to focus and dial in on what actually works at the core, and this seems like it's what works at the core. So I have a beginner's guide to day trading, and one of those pages in that guide is technical analysis. So if you want to check that out for yourself, just download it down below in the description, and from there you also have access to my Discord community, which is free, if you want to have access to me. And you also get a special bonus as well in there as well, trading commandments. But check it out in the description below, and stay tuned for the next video.